Good evening, it's 8 o'clock. I'm Tony Ndoro, live from Johannesburg, and in your headlines tonight, a community outraged as 3 more teenagers arrested for the murder of Khomotso Phahlane, bringing the total number of arrests to 9. Former National Police Commissioner Khomotso Phahlane blames his arrest on Robert McBride as he faces charges of fraud and corruption. SAA to lay criminal charges against a pilot who flew for more than 20 years without the correct license. Okay, thank you guys. We'll catch up with you later. Let's start with this. Polokwane residents say they won't vote if those accused of murdering Khomotso Phahlane don't stay behind bars. 3 more teenagers linked to the crime have been arrested. Police say 1 girl and 8 boys are now in custody. Residents have been marching angry at his murder. Khomotso has more.
These streets have been shut down by those calling for justice for Khomotso Phahlane. He was murdered allegedly by a gang of teenagers who filmed the incident. When residents arrived at Polokwane police station, they demanded Phahlane's death be the last of its kind, and they are threatening to take the law into their own hands.
That is the only reason they give. The moment Mapodisa Wapalela go respond in time, community will start to fill that space.
Please, I will not wait for SAPS.
Police are promising to respond to the demands. They also had this update for the crowd.
9 suspects that have been arrested that are, until and up to thus far, busy linked with the alleged crime being committed.
But organizers of the march say arrests aren't enough. They're threatening to lobby for boycotting elections if the suspects don't remain in jail.
We therefore embark on availing ourselves, on not availing ourselves as youth of Limpopo to the voting stations till we have a clear consensus of the direction of the case and the perpetrators involved are and remain in jail.
Phahlane will be laid to rest on Saturday. Polokwane.
The principal of Hoër School Driehoek and the Gauteng Education Department say they understand why some parents are taking legal action. 4 pupils died after a cement walkway collapsed at that school. 3 others are still in hospital. Yanka Tolme visited the school.
It's been exactly 1 month since teaching and learning came to an abrupt halt at Hoër School Driehoek. This after the walkway came tumbling down on top of pupils. The school was closed for several days. Now the scholars have been working hard to catch up. And the reminder of the horrific incident will soon be gone.
They're starting demolishing today. That would take around about 7 days, so we think a week. And the plan is that in the next 3 weeks the bridge will be rebuilt and the parts of the school that needs to be strengthened should be done. And the plan is that at the 2nd of April, when the school starts, we'll move back into the school.
A report will soon shed more light on what caused the structure to collapse. It's understood some families will then pursue legal action.
Look, we understand, where parents come from in terms of that perspective. They have already, started to come to our school. We gave them the school yesterday to say, inspect and do your investigation.
About 10 pupils are yet to join their classmates. 3 of them are still recovering in hospital, while others are busy with rehabilitation. Yanka Tolme, Vanderbijl Park.
Ex-National Police Commissioner Khomotso Phahlane blames his arrest on Robert McBride, saying the embattled IPID boss is trying to score points. Phahlane appeared in the Johannesburg Commercial Crimes Court on fraud and corruption charges. He and another senior officer were nabbed for their alleged role in a suspect tender to install sirens on police vehicles. Deranzu Temba has more.
This top cop is in a tight spot. Once again, This time, Khomotso Phahlane is charged for his alleged role in an 86 million rand tender to install blue lights. He's joined in the dock by the police's head of procurement, Robert McBride. In an affidavit, Phahlane protests his innocence. He says his arrest is nothing but an irrational setup aimed to humiliate and cause sensation. He says the timing of his arrest is suspect and is convinced is aimed at bolstering former IPID head Robert McBride's image as a corruption buster. McBride's contract came to an end on Thursday. In a statement, Phahlane says it's clear McBride wants to use this case to get his job back. He claims it's in fact McBride who is corrupt.
It really has nothing to do with making McBride look good. It's an investigation. We applied for warrants of arrest. We submitted a docket for perusal by the prosecutors. And based on the evidence that they were able to see, they decided who should be brought before a court.
The pair have been granted 20,000 rand bail each. Other high-ranking officers, including former Gauteng Police Commissioner Deliwe Delanga, as well as an official for the service provider, will answer to the same corruption charges later this month. Laranzo Temba, Johannesburg.
William Chandler, the SAA pilot who was asked to resign after it was found that he had flown commercial aeroplanes for more than 20 years with a fake license, may face criminal charges. SAA spokesperson Tladi said investigations are underway to determine how Chandler was able to progress in the organization without an ATPL license.
We're talking about a lot of money. It is difficult at this stage to quantify it. We are looking at salaries, we are looking at benefits, we are looking at allowances ranging over a period of 20 years, if you like. And as you may be aware that at entry level for a pilot to start with us, the entry level is around 1 million approximate. And the highest pilot who's a senior captain, it is approximately 4 million. He was not a captain, but he was a senior first officer, which is below that. And over a 20-year period, you can have a sense of what it is. This is the exercise that we are busy with in order to quantify the costs so that we are able to initiate civil claims in addition to criminal proceedings.
Now, the days of unwittingly paying astronomical amounts of money out of bundled data charges will soon be over. From today, some new regulations enforced by the Independent Communications Authority of South Africa are coming into play. It'll make sure cell phone companies can't cheat users out of leftover data or airtime. Peladisa Tusa reports.
It may not be exactly what mobile phone users called for when they said data must fall, but communications regulator ICASA is enforcing a host of new mobile data rules. Leftover data must be rolled over from 1 month to the next. That same data may be shared or sent to others on the same network. Network providers are also prohibited from automatically switching to out-of-bundle rates when data bundles are finished. Cell phone owners are thrilled.
Having experienced problems with mobile data and extra charges in the past, I think it is a really good idea.
So many times I've been victim to them using my airtime out of when I've run out of data, and I think that's a very good thing that I get to carry it on to the next month.
It's quite an amazing regulation in terms of saving the whole country money.
Why should data expire to begin with? Because I bought the data, I should have the data. So I think the rolling over would help a lot.
They say the changes are long overdue and finally consider the end users. Piladisa Tusa, Cape Town.
Stay with us on eNews, and coming up, as gunfire continues to ring out across Mogadishu, as Somali troops battle to disarm Islamist rebels. That's coming up along with the international news, but Rofiwa Madzena will have some business news.
That's right, Tony. The rand has weakened further in today's trading session and has breached that crucial 14 rand to the dollar mark. We'll find out why.
Welcome back. Rofiwa is here for some business news and good news for Edcon, a bit of a reprieve.
Absolutely, Tony. So they've been able to secure about 2.7 billion rand in investment from the likes of PIC and their lenders. And this means that they've been able to negotiate down some of their rental payments that they have to pay, as well as some of the major costs that they pay as well. So what they'll be able to do with this financing, which they've received, it lasts them for about 3 years, is to reduce their debt and create a new structure. So this is good news, particularly for the employees, because they have 14,000 employees in over 1,100 stores. So if they were to shut down, that would have been a mass bloodbath. So the CEO is very excited about the coming 3 years in really turning that business around.
Very true. Also exciting news for Rooibos as well.
This is an interesting story that I came across today, Tony. So there's been a 7% increase year on year for Rooibos demand globally. The problem, though, is that the Western Cape doesn't have enough suitable land to grow Rooibos. So the supply element of making this tea is coming under a lot of pressure. So what needs to happen here is that you need to focus on the drought areas and perhaps an entrepreneurial opportunity for new areas to be found to grow Rooibos. And why it's so important that Rooibos demand and supply are on a level playing field is that it employs about 5,000 people, as well as it creates over 500 million rand a year from exporting revenue. So it's a crucial industry within the country, and it's also one of the biggest agricultural exporters. So we really need to find that suitable land that farmers are worried about and take care of those drought conditions that we've been seeing.
That is a very, that's good news. Amazing news.
Very interesting, yeah.
Markets, how are they today?
Let's take a look at the markets. Also some good news on the local bourse today, and it started off the month on a positive note with broad-based gains. So positivity on the JSE was led by general retailers, which added about 1.1% at market's close. Some of the biggest losers, though, were the newly listed MultiChoice, which fell 6.2%, and MTN, which closed 5.4% lower. On the commodities front, the oil price continues to enjoy support from OPEC-led supply cuts, still above that $65 a barrel mark, while gold was weaker today, and that's thanks to a stronger dollar. Let's take a look at the local unit now. The rand is still weaker against major global currencies, and this is of course on the back of a sell-off in emerging market currencies, reaching those $14.20 against the US dollar.
I hate that number 14. I really do.
It's a very scary number for any investor.
Yeah, very. Rafiwa, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tony.
Right, let's go across the border now, and we start in the Horn of Africa. Gunfire rang out across central Mogadishu as Somali troops battled to disarm Islamist rebels. This latest assault occurred next to a hotel that was bombed on Thursday night. At least 29 people were killed and 80 wounded in the bombing. Moving over to Malawi, the government is offering a cash reward of nearly 100,000 rand for information on albino abductions and killings. This comes as anger grows over government inaction in stopping the scourge ahead of the elections. Killings of albinos for ritual sacrifice have increased in rural Malawi. And further afield, rescuers had to amputate a miner's leg in order to pull him from a rubble in Indonesia. The man later died from his injuries, while 7 others were found dead after the collapse. 19 people have been rescued from the collapsed illegal gold mine. Over 200 rescue personnel have been deployed to pull survivors and bodies out of several mine shafts. Stay with us. Coming up, we'll go to the Weather Center, where Joel Guy is standing by with a full weather report. And then we take a look at the latest images from the far side of the moon, courtesy of a Chinese probe, which is back up and running. Welcome back. Let's go straight to Joel Guy at our Weather Center. Joel, is it going to be hot again this weekend?
Yes, indeed, Sonny. We're going to see those afternoon temperatures soaring into the mid and upper 30s, especially over northern South Africa. As for Saturday morning, here's how the day is going to start off. Like we have this cold front, which will introduce a bit of drizzle along the southwest coastline and then spread the wet weather over the south coast during the course of Saturday morning. And over the eastern areas, it will be mostly cloudy in most areas with light rain and drizzle as well for the eastern areas of the Eastern Cape, parts of KwaZulu-Natal and much of Mpumalanga. And the clouds will also push northwards into Limpopo and Gauteng, as well as into the eastern areas of the Free State. Then in the afternoon, we will see thunderstorms popping up over parts of Limpopo and Mpumalanga, pushing down into northern KwaZulu-Natal. Then southern KwaZulu-Natal will be seeing rain showers that should also extend down into the eastern areas of the Eastern Cape. Then in the evening, we will see the rain showers in KZN and the Eastern Cape intensifying, so you can expect scattered to widespread rains for the provinces, including the eastern areas of the Eastern Cape. Now, we are going to stay with sunny and sizzling hot weather on Saturday for much of the Northern Cape, highs in the mid to upper 30s. For the northeastern parts of the province, it will be cooler for the western and southern sections. In the Western Cape, we should start off the day with mostly cloudy skies with light rain and drizzle from Cape Town into the southern parts of the province. Cape Town warming to around 25 degrees. Light rain is also forecast for the Eastern Cape coastal areas as well as over the eastern sections, East London, Bishop and Port Alfred, or warming to around 24 degrees. It will be cloudy with rain and thunderstorms once again for much of KwaZulu-Natal, sizzling hot for the northeastern sections with highs in the mid-30s. Stormy weather is also forecast for much of Mpumalanga, where warm to hot afternoon temperatures are forecast. We are going to see isolated thunderstorms for parts of Limpopo. It will be dry for Tawazimbi with a hot 36 for the maximum temperature. On the other hand, mostly sunny and hot weather is forecast for the northwest, 37 for the highs in Rustenburg, Zeerust as well as Mahikeng. We are going to see mostly clear skies as well for Western Free State, but thunderstorms are possible around Harrismith. We are also going to see stormy weather over northern Gauteng. Otherwise, it will be dry for the rest of the province. That's all from me, Tony. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Joel. Have a good weekend. Okay, a probe sent to the far side of the moon by China's space agency has been reactivated after 2 weeks spent hibernating. Chang'e 4, the moon lander, is back to work after sleeping during the second lunar night, which is equivalent to 14 days on Earth. The lander woke from its slumber a few hours before its companion rover U-22, and both are once again operating as normal. China's National Space Administration says it is now continuing their exploration of the lunar surface. Okay, let's come back down to Earth and bring you our headlines once more. A community outraged as 3 more teenagers arrested for the murder of Thoriso Temane, bringing the total number of arrests to 9. Former National Police Commissioner Khomotso Phahlane blames his arrest on Robert McBride as he faces charges of fraud and corruption. SAA to lay criminal charges against a pilot who flew for more than 20 years without the correct license. All right, that's it from myself and the crew. We'll catch you again next time. Good night.